Hello, my beautiful beings, and thank you so much for being here. Today is day 2 of the 30-day worthy challenge. So today we're going to be diving into the depths and the meaning and what it means to walk in worthiness. What it really means to feel, to embody, and to walk as the leader, as the speaker, as the, maybe you're not even a leader or a speaker or a coach, you are just a human here who is looking to create something epic, something divine. Maybe you're just an entrepreneur, whoever you are and whatever you are doing here. The idea of this workshop is for you to step into your worthiness, to live, to be, to create from a state and an embodiment of worthiness. Because as I mentioned in the very first video, the reason why we get to walk in worthy, the reason why we get to walk in worthiness, upright, feel a feeling of honor, respect for ourselves, for the people around us, the reason we get to walk in dignity and honor, the reason why we get to walk in authority and power, we get to live in a lit upness energy, an energy of lit upness, an energy of freedom and overflow, an energy of just breathing and living and in thriving and in creation, right? We get to walk in all of these things. We get to walk in all of these things because we are the children of God. We are made in His image. We are made in His likeness. We are literally co-creators, you guys. We are co-creators and we carry divinity, right? We are here to express our souls, to express our lives, to live in a state of creation, co-creation, right? So worthiness, why worthiness, and why worthiness is so important for us to really begin to understand, comprehend, and embody. Why worthiness? In a little, I mentioned a little bit around this why worthiness in the first video, but just to kind of backtrack and just to kind of bring it back up in case you missed the first video. Why worthiness is because worthiness is your identity, right? Worthiness lives in your identity. Worthiness is a state of integrity, a state of where you feel approval, a state where you feel enough, where you know you are enough, where you feel you are enough, where you are walking in a state of certainty, a state of fullness, a state of I am worthy. But how do we get there? And not only how do we get there, but how do we stay in this state of worthiness? And how do we operate? How do we create? How do we be? How do we do life? How do we do business in this state of I know who I am, I know whose I am, and I know what I'm meant to be doing, what I'm meant to be creating. So as I mentioned in the last video, if the enemy can get into your psyche, into your identity, and if he can get you to believe the lie, which he has, to many people have fallen for the lie of this idea that I am in some way, shape, or form insignificant, that I am in some way, shape, or form missing something, that something is off, that something is not quite right, that something is missing essentially, that I am innately missing something, that I am not enough, right? And so there was a time when I remember I was claiming a parking spot, and it was such a busy summer day. We were at the pool, we were at the river, we were all hanging out, we were having a great time, but my niece says to me, she's like, I have a really bad stomachache, can you drop me off at home? And my mom looks at me and she's like, if you go drop her off at home, you know you're not gonna be able to find a parking spot. And I'm like, wait a minute, Mom, ye of little faith. You're the one that taught me faith, but here you are telling me that I'm not gonna be able to find a parking spot. And so I kind of brushed it off and I said, all right, let's go. I'm gonna drop you off at home and I'll come back and I'll find a parking spot. And I drove off all certain, all excited to come back and reclaim my parking spot. When I'm telling you the parking was full, it was jam-packed, you guys. Like the whole parking was full, and not only was the parking full, but there was like rows and rows of cars on the sides of the roads. Like it was jam-packed. So anyway, so I drop her off and I drive back to the swimming pool, or the swimming area where we were at. And as I pull into the driveway, I'm driving, I could see how packed it is, and then I can hear my mom's words, like, what were you thinking, pretty much? You shouldn't have left. you know, there's nowhere to park now. And as I go to turn the corner to go find my parking, I hear in my spirit literally the audible words of, "You are worthy." And I'm like, I literally was caught off guard because I'm like, I'm worthy. What am I worthy of? Like, what? And I just brushed that thought off. Like, I just brushed it off and I'm like, whatever. As soon as I heard the words and I pulled around the corner, a car pulls out and I pull in. So then, as time goes by, I get the understanding that what the Holy Spirit was trying to teach me, that as I was pulling into that parking lot, I thought that there's just not enough, and it's impossible. Like, it's impossible for me to find a parking spot. My mom was right. And I felt that sinking feeling of defeat, you know, come into my energy of like, oh yeah, she was right. This is impossible. What was I thinking? Because I left there like all excited. Oh, Mom, watch me manifest her. Watch me create this parking spot. But as I was driving in that parking, I had that feeling of doubt sink into me. And I was like, wait a minute, what if she's wrong? Or what if she's right and I'm wrong? That, you know, we can't really believe, we can't really trust. And basically what the Holy Spirit was trying to tell me was that it is possible, and you get to believe, you get to trust, you get to let go, and you get to lean back, and you get to trust that you are taken care of, that you are fully taken care of, that although it seems impossible, that although it seems like there's no way, like there's nowhere to park, there's literally nowhere to park, and you've literally missed it, and you've just believed into something that wasn't even real. He's saying, you know what? Remember that you are worthy. Because when you know and you remember that you are worthy, the doors open up for you. Literally, the doors begin to open up for you. You begin to experience the miraculous on every corner. You begin to see things begin to shift for you so quickly, and you literally begin to live in a state of creation. You literally forget what it's like to live in a state of striving, in a state of trying, in a state of pushing, in a state of this yucky energy of survival. When you can really grasp this idea and this thought and this truth that you are innately worthy because you are. You are innately worthy because you are literally a child of God, and you are innately worthy. When you can come and when you can live life from this approach, from this foundation, from this inner knowing that whatever I set out to do, whatever I set out to create, whatever I set out to manifest, whatever I set out to attract, whatever I set, like anything that I decide to do, because I am the creator, right? And I carry this power, this authority, this worthiness. When you walk in this conviction of who you are, things begin to shift for you. The doors begin to open. You begin to see the miraculous. You literally begin to see a yes and a yes and a yes and a yes. And although there might be times, and there will be times, where it seems like there is an apparent closed door, you will be detoured. You will literally begin to hear the voice of God. You will literally begin to tune in and hear guidance from within, from your intuition. The more you begin to align your mind, your thoughts, your energy, your feelings with the truth of who you are, of who God created you to be, worthy, a worthy being, the more you begin to penetrate your cells, your body, your feelings, your thought processes in this feeling, in this energy of I am worthy because I am. I am worthy because I am breathing air. I am worthy because I woke up this morning. I am worthy because I am. When you begin to really, really embody this energy, like I said, things really, really, really begin to shift for you. So, shifting gears here a little bit. One of the ways that you begin to teach your mind and body and soul that you are worthy is by doing and overcoming hard things. Now, I know that might be contrary to what you have learned, because I know there's a lot of spiritual teachers, there's a lot of teachers out there that say, just go with the flow, just go with the flow. I'm all for the flow, you guys. I'm all for getting into the flow and creating from the flow. I'm all for creation. I'm all for it. But here's what you must understand, that we live in a 3D reality where resistance is real, right? Resistance is real, challenges are real. We will come up against things that are not fun, that make us feel, that feel heavy, that feel uncomfortable, that feel hard, right? These are just part of the realm we live in. So it is our jobs as the co-creators, as people who are walking upright in authority, in dignity, in honor, in worthiness, to see these hard things and step over them, to see these hard challenges and step over them, to see the things that are uncomfortable, to see the things that are yucky, and then go ahead and push through, and go ahead and step over, push through, step over, push through. The more that you do this, the more you are teaching your mind, your body, and your soul that you are worthy, and that what you are looking to create is worth it, right? Every time that you show up when you're like, you know what, I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not inspired. I'm just not motivated. I just don't have the energy. I'm just not in the flow. You fill in your blank. Every time you see that resistance and you show up despite of it, you are literally teaching your soul, your mind, and your body that you are worth it, that your creation is worth it, that your business is worth it, that what you are looking to call in is worth it, that your clients are worth it, that your income is worth it, that whatever it is that you are looking to create, you literally become a magnet to it by stepping over the resistance and showing up and doing the work that you are called to do, despite any of these heavy, yucky feelings that you feel. Because when you show up, the inspiration shows up. When you show up, the motivation shows up. When you show up and you show yourself that you are worth it, the downloads, the insights, the way is shown to you. So when you're like, well, I'm just unclear, well, I'm just unsure, well, I'm just not feeling ready today, I'm just not ready today, I'm just feeling yucky today. But you show up despite that feeling and you say, you know what, I'm going to show up and I'm going to speak. I'm going to show up and I'm going to create. I'm going to show up and I'm going to put my stuff out there. I'm going to show up and I'm going to do it anyway. In some way, shape, or form, I'm going to show up anyway. As I said, you are literally wiring into your mind, into your body, into your cells. You are literally telling the world, you are literally telling yourself, your energy, hey, I am worth it. I am worth it. And I have the power to overcome. I have the power to see the resistance. I have the power to be able to discern and to see that these things are temporary. They will not push me to the side. They will not hold me back. I see my worthiness and I see the worthiness of my work. I see the power of my work. And every time as we show up, despite all of that, despite the noise, despite the discomfort, despite the lack of motivation, despite the lack of clarity, despite the unknown, despite the I'm not ready, despite any of that, you are wiring into your mind, body, and soul that I am worth it. My work is worth it. The people I am here to serve are worth it, right? So it's not an idea of like, you know, you get excited one day, you're all pumped up one day, and then you show up. And then the next day you're feeling off, you're feeling yucky, you're feeling gross, and then you don't show up. What is that telling your own body, your own psyche, your own you, your soul? And then what is that telling the people? What is that telling creation? What is that telling God? That you're wishy-washy, that you're not certain, that you're in this unknown energy, in this inconsistency, in this place of where you're not certain in yourself. And like I said, even on the days when you're not certain in yourself and you're not sure and you're not clear, but you show up anyway, you are literally teaching your soul that you are worthy, that you are worthy, and your worthy muscle begins to grow. You begin to grow when you're worthy. Your trust in yourself begins to expand, right? Your trust in your courage begins to expand as you show up despite all of the things that are trying to distract you and hold you back. You show up and you grow. Your light begins to shine brighter. You begin to feel more worthy. Not just on an idea level where you read and you're like, you're worthy. You're like, yeah, I get it. But to actually feel it in your body, to actually feel it in your cells, to actually know it with a certainty when you wake up in the morning that you are worthy, that your work is worthy, that the people that are meant to hear your stuff are worthy, that the people who are meant to be changed by your work are worthy. Every time you show up despite any of the noise, you are integrating into your mind, body, and soul that you are worthy, okay? So that is your homework for today, you guys. I want you to bring into your awareness, where in my life am I allowing the discomfort to continue to rule me, to continue to take over, to continue to sabotage me, and to continue for me to walk in this insignificant spirit, in the spirit of lack, in the spirit of lack of identity, lack of knowing, lack of certainty? Where are you allowing that to run the show? Where are you allowing the resistance to hold you back? Where are you saying, yeah, you're right, I'm not motivated today, I'll try tomorrow? Where are you allowing lack of clarity? Yeah, I'm not as clear today, I'll try it tomorrow. I'll try it tomorrow when I'm more motivated, when I'm more inspired. BS, you guys. I want you to become aware right now. Pull out your journals, pull out your notepads, your phones, and begin to jot down this in your notes. Where am I allowing resistance to hold me back and to stay in the identity of I am not enough? What I have to say is not enough. I'm not worth overcoming resistance. I am not worth looking lack of clarity in the eye and stepping over it. I am not worth looking lack of inspiration in the eye and stepping over it. I am not worth overcoming these heavy feelings of insignificance, lack. I'm not worth it. Where are you allowing that to control your day, to control your mood, to control your life, to control your business, to control what you create? Where are you allowing resistance to hold you back? I want you to jot it down. I want you to come up with the things that are holding you back. What are the thoughts? What are the habits? What are the feelings that are holding you in this holding pattern of lack and insignificance of, well, my work is just not enough. My work is not worth it. I'm just not worth it. I'm not worth doing the hard things. I'm not worth overcoming. I'll just stay over here in my bubble and wait. I'll just wait for inspiration. I'll just wait for inspiration. I'll just wait. I'll wait once the clarity comes in, then I'll act. I'll just wait once the, you fill in your blank. Once the courage comes in, then I'll take the action. Then I'll create the offer. Then I'll show up and sell. Then I'll show up confidently. Then I'll create the, you fill in your blank. Where are you allowing that to literally rule your day, your business, your life? I want you to look at that. That is your homework for today. I want you to look at that and become crystal clear. And I want you to decide from this day forward that you will make a commitment to yourself, to God, to your work, to the people that you are meant to be serving and helping and impacting, that you will look at this discomfort, that you will decide from this day forward that you are worth overcoming the discomfort, overcoming the lack of clarity, overcoming the confusion, showing up and doing the work despite any of the feelings that you're thinking are, insignificant, right? So I want you to make that commitment to yourself. Just put your hand on your heart and say your name out loud and say, I, Marina, commit to overcoming my own insecurities, to overcoming resistance, to overcoming the things that have held me back and that continue to hold me back, I commit to overcoming and stepping over the feelings and the ideas that I am not enough, that what I have to say is not enough, that I need to stay in this inadequacy, that I need to stay in this lack of motivation, that I need to stay in this lack of clarity, that I need to stay in this unknown, that I'm not sure yet, that I need to stay in confusion. I decide from this day forward that I will not do that. That I will step over these ideas, that I will step over these feelings, that I am worth it, that I am capable, that I have the power within me to step over the noise, to just step over the discomfort, to step over the things that are binding me, that are holding me. I choose from this day forward to step over that. I choose to be aware. I choose to be clear. I choose to show up despite any of the noise. And I choose to prove to myself that I am worth it, that I am worth it, that my work is worth it, that the people who are meant to hear my work are worth it, right? So that is your lesson for today. Overcoming the hard, stepping over the discomfort, stepping over the noise, and showing up and teaching your mind, body, and soul that you are worth it, my beautiful queen, that you are capable of doing hard things. You are capable of doing hard things. As you do this, as you show up day in and day out, as you stay committed to yourself, as you stay committed to your craft, if you fall, it's okay, get back up. If you lose a day or two, it's okay, get back up. Remember that you are always worth it, that there is time. While there's time, there's time. Give yourself grace, give yourself love, give yourself massive, massive grace. And show up and teach your mind, body, and soul that you are worth it. Do the homework. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what came up for you. Let me know in the comments, DM me, message me, however you want to let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And I will see you tomorrow for day 3.